A Seattle police officer described a woman as having limited value right after she'd been fatally struck by a police car. He's now under investigation. While the release of body cam footage turned all eyes to the city's police force, the careless language and flippant behavior is not new, both within departments across the country and within the Seattle PD itself. On January 23, 2023, 23-year-old Jaahnavi Kandula was struck and killed by a Seattle police officer while walking across a marked crosswalk. According to a police report obtained by Public Cola, Officer Kevin A. Dave was driving 74 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone while responding to a Priority 1 emergency call regarding an alleged overdose. Kandula was a graduate student who had come to the U.S. from India. She was getting an education and hopefully a career that would allow her to support her mother back home, according to The Hindu, a paper that spoke with members of the South Asian community who gathered for a rally in Seattle following her death. The next day, Officer Daniel Otterer, vice president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild, was captured on body cam footage speaking to Mike Sloan, the union's president, about the incident. Otterer can be heard saying she is dead and laughing before continuing. No, it's a regular person.
Yeah, just write a check. $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
In a letter sent to the Seattle Office of Police Accountability, Otterer claimed he was mocking lawyers who take part in negotiations over similar cases in the audio clip. Now let's zoom out a bit. Police said that the officer who fatally struck Kandula was responding to a Priority 1 emergency. Thanks to an incident report and 911 call obtained by Public Cola, we now know the specifics of that emergency. Officer Dave was responding to what police implied was a drug overdose. Public Cola's review of the call determined that the call was actually from a lucid man who thought he was having a drug-related medical emergency. The incident report shows the call was downgraded from triage to aid, which is the lowest level of response to a drug-related call per Public Cola. "I'm just trying to breathe right now and I'm trying not to freak out," the man said on the 911 call per Public Cola. He added that it was hard to think. The dispatcher then told the man to flag down the aid car that was on its way. According to a Seattle Fire Department spokesperson, the caller was evaluated and did not want to be transported to the hospital. Local authorities struggled to determine why exactly Officer Dave was responding to the call. At first, police said he was responding at the request of first responders with the Seattle Fire Department. The department later told Public Cola that officers are required to dispatch to overdoses as part of a long-standing policy because overdose reversal patients can become violent. Police Chief Adrian Diaz then said Dave was responding as an EMT. It's unclear when on Dave's route the call was downgraded. A Seattle PD spokesperson also declined to comment on the driving logistics officers follow while responding to a low-level emergency. While the Seattle Police Department has made some progress since being placed under federal supervision in 2012 for excessive force complaints, incidents like this show there is still work to be done. In related news, another cop within the department, Officer Burton Hill, was just placed on administrative leave after newspaper The Stranger released audio on September 22nd of an incident in which the officer used racist and sexist slurs during an argument with his Asian American neighbor. Many continue to emphasize that tragedies like these further erode public trust, and advocates urge that continued reform and accountability are necessary to address systemic issues of misconduct and insensitivity.